Hello and welcome to Flipping Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news review and interview channel. So for today's Wednesday video, I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about framing your collectible things. I guess this kind of goes for everything, but I'm going to be talking specifically about Mad magazines because that's what this channel is about. So a little bit about these are the only two issues I have framed. I kind of have plans of getting others framed, but truth be told, if you do it the right way, framing a comic book or a magazine is going to be expensive. So I guess if you don't have disposable income right now, don't get something framed. I don't have disposable income. I'm not getting stuff framed. Anyway, so um, the two issues that I have framed are I'll start with this one. I'll go with this one actually. This is Mad number 166. Very famous cover, I think, among Mad magazine collectors and everybody. The number one Eck magazine came out April 1974. Our price 40 cents, which is indeed cheap. Um, it is a cover that got the magazine pulled from a lot of newsstands. And a couple of years ago, Mad Magazine was doing a subscription promotion where if you bought a subscription, they'd send you one of these issues from the vault. And so I jumped on that, obviously. It just seemed like foolish not to do that. Um, so anyway, that's how I got it, and it's in pretty good shape. There's wear and tear and stuff, but there's no creases on the cover, and I am pleased as punch to have it. Um, and so it's been framed. Uh, Now the other one that I had framed at the time I had a lot of disposable income. Sorry, I was setting that other one down. This is just the oldest one I had at the time. Um, as you can see, it's in really bad shape. I mean, like the cover is detached from the magazine itself. Um, it's not that old. It's from 1972. Our price 40 cents cheap, but it was. I do like the cover, but at that time, it was the oldest one I had. I wasn't super serious about collecting. I wasn't like actively like now I'm trying to expand my collection and get a full collection of Mad Magazine. At this time in my life, it was the one I had that was the oldest. And so I paid and had it framed. Now, in hindsight, I wouldn't get one now framed that was like this unless it was, I don't know, I can't think of an exception to that, but I would not get one in this condition framed. Um, but I'm kind of glad I did because now I have this all set up to receive a different Mad magazine. Now, the thing about framing something is you can buy frames at the store, and you can even get like these bars or like the well, I guess it's the frame, right? The frame of the thing. You can actually buy metal sections that you can cut yourself and put it together. I chose to get mine professionally framed, and there's a reason for that. Anytime that you frame something that you care deeply about or that you feel is collectible or has sentimental value, there's certain things that you want um, to have done. And I can go over some of those things on the back side. This. Now, this was a company that's Museum Services. They're set in Minneapolis, which is where I live. Um, and they do museum quality framing. Um, Now, the first thing is, well, I guess the first thing is like acid free thing. So the board there that it's mounted on is acid free. Um, Now, the second thing, which they indicate here, is like the different types of glass that you can get. Here, I'm going to zoom in, see if I can get it not a little closer, a lot closer. So as you can see, you can get regular glass, conservation clear UV protection glass, regular acrylite acrylic, or ultraviolet filtering museum quality acrylite acrylic OP3. That's like top of the line. And it's I, I want the things that I frame to be protected. And so um not a lot of people know that, like, well, you can frame something. I think people generally understand the concept of sun damage, right? Like, especially newsprint. You see an old newspaper, set it out on your porch for a couple weeks, and it's going to turn like brownish. Now, a lot of these old magazines and comics, they were printed on newsprint, and if they get exposure to sun, they'll start turning brown. Why, when you are having something graded, they look for the whiteness of the pages. So, if the whiter the pages are, the better condition the book is in. Now, what people don't know or don't appreciate is that even indirect sunlight can damage an image, can damage a book. So having it, in a inside the house, not in direct sunlight, is a good start, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be fully protected. So you want to get some level of UV protection if it's something that you care about. Now, something that this framer did that I didn't ask for. This guy is a pro, and he's a very thoughtful person. And so when I picked him up, he explained what he had done. He said, "Well, this is a magazine, so presumably you are going to want to read it sometime." And so he actually made this so that I could take it apart and remove it fairly easily. But once it was in it, it was secured. So um, there are these 4 screws that I can back out. Then I can take everything out and I can have access to this magazine. Now, he also put these kind of clear plastic corner pieces to hold the magazine in place. There's not like a wire or any type of fiber holding it back. It's held in place and doing a great job. I've had this framed for years and years. And I think on the other one, it shows a lot better how well it has held up. It's supported really well, but it allows me to remove it and, in this case, replace it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually take this out. I have my screw gun here, but I'm not going to do that on camera. So I will be back shortly. All right, so I've backed out these screws. Now, all I have to do is lift this out like that. Now, I'm going to flip this over. Now, truth be told, this is absolutely first time I'm taking this out. So here we have, there are 2 things. One is the actual mat to which the magazine is attached, and then there is a piece of foam core. And so these are adhered together. The mat is held. Oh, bit of dust got. Anyway, so now I'm just going to remove it and hopefully not mess this up anymore than it is already. Whoop. Enough. I can slide that out. And I mean, hey, like I said, really rough shape. This thing is in really rough shape, but it's going to get bagged, boarded, and put back. Now, it's actually kind of interesting because there is, I don't know what it's from, but I feel like I can see a difference in the color. The backing board being whiter on the outside than it was in there. I don't know if that's just like some grime from the magazine itself. Um, or if there is some, what do you call it, um, UV damage that has happened. But like I said, I mean, these have been out of direct sunlight, but I mean, even in direct sunlight can have an effect. So um, protect your stuff. So now, oh geez, did I second? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm putting this back in. I'm going to be putting it with Richard Nixon out, and couple reasons. One, Richard Nixon was the greatest American president of all time. All right. And if you disagree, then you don't like the environment because he started the EPA. I'm joking. I mean, he did start the EPA, but I'm not. I don't care who you think the greatest president. Um. Anyway, that so there's that reason, and uh, the fact that it's actually the cover. So much as the Jack Kennedy is cover is just beautiful and wonderful, it's not the actual cover of the magazine. It's not the official cover of the. Boom, that guy goes in there. The other thing, the other reason too, is that the side with John Kennedy is actually more sun damaged. You can see there's like discoloration on the corners. The one with JFK is quite worse. And so I do want to present the nicer of the two sides. And, uh, it takes some care. Now, I probably should be doing this not on camera. I should probably be doing this um, well lit area is telling you that I've done it. But hey, maybe this will be of some use to somebody. That's what I really hope. Um, do hope that it would be useful to somebody to see something like this getting framed. So there we go. I'm gonna kind of turn it. Hope that I've gotten this well in place. I think that this issue is actually fits a little bit more snugly in there. But now I'm going to doing it like this just so that I'm making sure that I'm putting it back the way I took it apart. All right, so it's all buttoned up again, and as you can see, aside from some schmutz or something that got on there, it is a beautiful issue in a beautiful frame as it deserves to be. So, with that, just a few takeaways. If you get something framed, take it to a professional. I mean, I'm going to just say that. Make sure that you got UV protective glass. Make sure that you can remove it by yourself. Having access to the things that you put away is important. I mean, I'm not somebody that's a big proponent of CGC. I know a lot of people like it. That ain't my personal thing. I like to be able to access the things that I am holding on to. And then finally, wait, that's it, right? Oh, yeah. When you hang it up, don't put it in direct sunlight. Anyway, with that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, share it out. If you don't like it, share it out anyway, all right? Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Toodaloo.